Most people believe personality is revealed in public. Psychology suggests the opposite. Because when other people are around, we're all performing to some degree, protecting our image, managing impressions, playing roles. But when nobody is watching, something interesting happens. The mask relaxes. The habits that remain are often the habits that reveal us. Not our status, not our achievements, not even our confidence, but the hidden patterns that quietly shape the way we think. And here's the strange part. Some of the most uncommon personality traits don't appear in crowded rooms. They appear in silence, behind closed doors, in moments nobody else ever sees. If you recognize several of these 7 behaviors, it doesn't mean you're better than other people, but it may mean your mind is operating in a way that's less common than most realize. Let's begin. Number 1. You rehearse conversations that may never happen. Most people replay conversations because they regret something they said. But some people do something different. They imagine conversations that don't even exist yet. A future disagreement, an important decision, a difficult question. To an outsider, it looks like daydreaming. But beneath the surface, your brain is running simulations, testing possibilities, exploring outcomes, preparing for situations before they arrive. And here's the paradox. People often assume overthinking is always a weakness. But some forms of thinking aren't about fear. They about preparation. You not escaping reality. You examining it from multiple angles before it appears. When you're alone, your mind becomes a rehearsal room for life. Number 2. You quietly change your mind. Most people treat opinions like possessions. Once they adopt a belief, they feel pressure to defend it, even when new evidence appears. But some people do something surprisingly rare. They update, quietly, without announcing it, without protecting their ego, without needing everyone to know they've changed. Because deep thinkers understand something important. Being right feels good, but understanding something new is even better. The more self-aware a person becomes, the more comfortable they become with this sentence. I don't think I believe that anymore. And that's not weakness. It's intellectual flexibility. A trait that's becoming increasingly uncommon in a world where everyone feels pressured to sound certain all the time. Number 3. You follow curiosity with no reward waiting. Have you ever searched for one simple answer, and 40 minutes later found yourself learning about ancient civilizations, human memory, black holes, forgotten inventions, or how habits shape behavior? No deadline, no exam, no practical reason, just curiosity. Most people stop exploring when the reward disappears. But some minds keep digging, not because they have to, because they genuinely want to know. And psychologists have long noticed that curiosity is different from motivation. Motivation usually needs a reward. Curiosity creates its own. Your mind keeps opening doors simply because it wants to see what's behind them. And people who never lose that habit often keep growing long after everyone else has stopped paying attention. Number 4. You observe your emotions instead of immediately obeying them. An emotion appears. Anger, jealousy, embarrassment, anxiety. Most people instantly react. The emotion becomes the action. But some people pause, even if only for a few seconds. They ask themselves, why did that affect me so strongly? What exactly am I feeling? What's underneath this reaction? That small pause is more powerful than it looks. Because the moment you begin observing an emotion, you create distance from it. And distance creates choice. You stop becoming every feeling that enters your mind. Instead, you start understanding it. Ironically, emotional strength isn't about feeling less. It's about being controlled less by what you feel. Number 5. Silence doesn't make you uncomfortable. This is where many people become restless. The room is quiet. No notifications. No videos. No conversations. Just silence. And for some people, silence feels empty. But for others, silence feels useful. Because silence reveals things noise hides. Thoughts you've been avoiding. Questions you've been postponing. Ideas you've never given enough attention. The truth is, many people aren't afraid of being alone. They're afraid of what they'll hear when distractions disappear. But if you can sit with silence comfortably, it often means you've developed a relationship with yourself that doesn't depend on constant stimulation. And that's becoming increasingly rare. Number 6. You revisit old experiences and discover new meanings. Something happened years ago. A mistake. A rejection. A failure. A painful memory. At the time, it seemed obvious what it meant. But then years pass. and suddenly you see it differently. The event didn't change. You changed. This is one of the most fascinating signs of psychological growth, because mature minds don't simply collect experiences. They reinterpret them again and again. An old embarrassment becomes wisdom. An old disappointment becomes direction. An old loss becomes perspective. Some people experience life once. Others continue learning from the same experience for decades. And that ability quietly compounds over time. Number 7. Your mind doesn't constantly need escape. This may be the rarest trait of all. Not enjoying isolation. Not avoiding people. Something deeper. The ability to spend time with your own thoughts without immediately searching for an exit. A quiet evening. A long walk. A few uninterrupted hours. And instead of feeling trapped, you feel engaged. Because your attention naturally turns inward. You reflect. Question. Imagine. Connect ideas. Many people spend their lives searching for ways to escape their thoughts. Some people spend their lives trying to understand them. And those are very different paths. Because the person who understands their own mind carries a kind of stability that doesn't depend on constant noise, constant validation, or constant distraction. Here's what's fascinating. None of these habits automatically make someone smarter. They don't guarantee success. And they certainly don't make a person superior. But together, they point toward something important. A mind that keeps developing even when nobody is watching. Because the deepest parts of personality aren't built during moments of attention. They rebuilt during moments of solitude. In the questions you ask yourself, the beliefs you're willing to challenge, the emotions you're willing to examine, and the silence you're willing to face. So how many of these 7 felt familiar to you? 3, 5, or maybe all 7? Let me know in the comments. Because sometimes the habits you show when you're completely alone reveal more about your personality than anything you do in public.